I think we can agree that the Scary Pirate Island GWP was a success, but I'm interested, what would happen if we combined 3 of them? What I would like to do is increase the shark head sculpted rock by 4 studs this way and 4 studs that way. I'm going to utilize some of my own pieces as well to help me with this mod. I should also be able to triple the size of the fort that is in ruins. I've got most of the pieces sorted out from the 2 extra copies and am working on the footprint of this model. The original model had an octagonal shape on 3 corners, so that's what I'm kind of sticking with on this enlarged build. So I basically have 2 octagons sandwiched together, I guess. This is what I have so far, and I think it's shaping up pretty nicely. I have 4 extra studs on the width, 4 extra studs on the depth, and I'm trying to use most of the same techniques as Lego did in their design, except I'm going to have to use some larger arches to span across larger gaps. Next, what I'm going to focus on is the interior of our cave. So this is unbelievable. I was about to record a clip saying that this is the last time that you're going to see this original build because I was going to have to break it down and use some pieces from it. But just as I was about to hit record, I got a message on my phone saying package delivery. I broke up my pick-a-brick orders so they're being shipped at different times, and that way I can get some extra GWPs. So I'm going to get this one opened up so I can use its pieces. So this is good. Having that extra set will allow me to keep the original intact. That way I can do a side-by-side comparison at the end of this video showing the original versus my mods. I've added an extra row of teeth to the bottom of the cave because sharks have additional rows of teeth. So I thought that would look good. I've also added a beach area inside, and I'm going to get that detailed up. But I've just come across a great idea. What if we could make the entrance to this fort, instead of from the back side like this, what if you had to go through the cave to get into it? I've added a couple of bats hanging from the ceiling. I think that looks good. To make this beach a little bit more deluxe, I'm going to tile it over. The tiling work is complete. I've added a gold goblet, skeleton head, stack of gold coins, and I used some dark tan cheese slopes up front to represent wet sand. Oh yeah, I left a stud there so our pirate minifigure can stand inside this cave. Now I want the entrance into the fort being pretty small and hidden, so only our pirate knows that there's an entrance back here. But I'm going to have to remove some of these large arches to have a little bit better access for our pirate. And I'm going to get started on the fort. Here's the staircase leading into the fort. The entrance is this archway built at this really weird angle. Hopefully I'll be able to make it work. I've also built up some rock surrounding the fort base. And I'm going to use layers of dark red for masonry work, and also some of the wood that's seen in his raft. I'm going to use it for the fort, and got some treasure chests that are going to be buried into this fort. Okay, I'm making a lot of progress on this fort, having a lot of fun with it. I've included 3 light fixtures, one as you can see on the inside near the steps, one on the outside by this lookout. There's 3 lookouts, by the way. And there's our 3rd light fixture near the back side. And this 3rd lookout is actually a place for our pirate to fish. Now let's take a look at the inside. Coming up the stairs to your right, that's where you can put your cutlass sword. There's also a couple places down there for looking out the windows, watching for intruders. Then if you continue up the stairs, there's the platform where you can do some fishing. And if you go up this little ladder and follow the wood planks all the way around, there's the pirate's bed. So we'll just put him in there so we can see how he looks. Maybe the pirate is a little bit exposed. Let's build up the walls just a little bit further and tile everything up to give it a complete look. And then we'll finally move back to the rock structure. There we go. I think that looks good. Also, I forgot to mention his bed was repurposed from a sail. And I think I got this door frame integrated pretty well. There's some gaps, but this is kind of a makeshift fort, so I'm not worried about that. All right, I think we can call it done on the fort for now. Let's move back to the rock structure. You're right, we can't call it done until we add the all-important pirate flag. There, now it's done. To add a little bit more color into the cave and to represent moss, I'll be adding some 1x1 sand green bricks. More teeth have been added to the cave's entrance. And what's our pirate friend looking at? Oh, it's a real shark in the water. Okay, so I've got this really good idea. Something to add to the backside of the shark. And it's involving this piece. Can you guess it? Look at it. Shark fin. That will look so cool. I'm going to need to remove some of the rock work here, or shrink it down anyway. This is how I'm going to make the connection of the shark fin, using this pivoting plate, and going to connect it to that snot brick right there. This is going to be so satisfying. Yeah, I like it. I think the eyes will look good right there. I'm using transparent headlight bricks and gems for a reason, because I'm going to light these bad boys up. Yeah, it's going to look so cool. This model's going to come to life, and in fact, it's turning out better than I expected. Now, the next layer of bricks, I want to use a couple more of these corner slopes. The only problem is I used them in other parts of the build, which are down there at the bottom. Maybe I can pry off some plates and access it from the bottom. The other one's way back there in the cave, so I'm going to have to take some things apart. Also, once I add the roof onto this cave, it's going to be kind of dark. That's why our pirate figure has a torch, so he can light his way. Yeah, I'm going to add a light brick up above his torch so it lights up. I think that'll look so cool. This is probably an inefficient way to use my light bricks, but I'm using 3 of them because I want this to look good. And I'm keeping these black bits in until the end because I'm going to be building 2 of them back to back. I tiled up some of these studded surfaces that we're showing over here. Also, I didn't notice there was a little bit of black showing through from a snot brick, so I'm going to swap that out with a light gray snot brick. And coming up here, I've got some studs that are going to show here, but I figured that'd be a good place to put some seagulls. So it wasn't the snot brick that was causing the problem after all. It's the plate sitting on top of it. It's a 2x8 plate that I used black for. Is supporting a lot of stuff right here. And I couldn't find any light gray at the time in my pieces, my sorted pieces. But I found one in my unsorted pieces, so I'm going to get that plate swapped out. There we go. I've got that swapped out. Also, here's my mechanism that I'm going to be using to push down on the top of the head to light up the cave. I've added headlight bricks for the shark's nostrils, and at the very tippy top, I've got this element that shaped up nicely with these ones that came with the set. However, I only have it in dark gray, so I don't know, I've got mixed feelings about that. If I had it in medium stone gray, I would go with it, but I may find an alternative building technique. So this is the shaping I came up with, and I think it looks good, so I'm going to stick with it. And guess what? I'm done. So once I get my table all cleared up, I'll be able to give you a full presentation of the completed mod. Oops, I just realized the fin is not centered with the nose, so I'm going to have to move that over by half a stud, and I'm going to be able to do that by using a jumper plate. There we go, I got that straightened out. I've also added another real shark, popping its fin out of the water. I'm going to start off by saying this is my best mod yet, for sure. I didn't expect it to look this good, to tell you the truth. I knew I can make it look bigger and maybe a little bit better, but honestly, I never sculpted an animal structure, so I was a little bit nervous about that. And don't get me wrong, I think this initial creator set is a good one, and I like it, and that's what ultimately inspired me to make this mod. But take a look at mine. I think it looks better, don't you agree? Alright, let me give you a full tour. I am so proud of myself how I integrated this light brick to show this pirate's torch lighting up. I've never done that before, and it works perfectly. Now, before I light up the shark's eyes, I thought I'd give you some different shots to compare the size between the original and my mod. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more LEGO content.